Pecan Valley Golf Club versus Michelle Rojas and all occupants. How much is the monthly rent on this one?
$850, Your Honor, no subsidy.
And what months are you seeking, please?
Your Honor, there's a total past due of $1,746. It'd be the prorate for this month. There was a partial for November, a partial for October, a partial for September.
Okay.
I have all of my, they took payment. I went in there and I asked the lady, please don't file eviction. I went in and gave her money. Oh, no, you live in the apartment, you pay rent, you stay there, you give money orders. So she took my money orders and then the date on the eviction, they had already filed. So I have money order slips in here that they were taking my money and the eviction was already done. I've already moved out of the apartment. There was somebody murdered out there in my apartment. So I thought they would, work with me. Literally, he was out there for an hour and a half dead, in between cars. I have another lady harassing me. I have a domestic, like not domestic, disturbance.
So you paid the, wait.
I paid, they took money orders. I have the little slips. They took $400 or $500 from me. There was one point
When
where
was that? When was that?
I have one for November 3rd for $200. I have one for the 10/27, 140. And then there was a lady, there's been several ladies that go through there. She was there in the morning. She was the only car. She took $100 money order from me, but didn't give me, she said, you come back for the slip after we opened because they weren't open. So I never got that receipt, but they took it. I went in there with my daughter twice and, crying because it's the holidays. I can't be homeless with my child. She still, like I said I was staying there. So
When did you turn in the keys?
I have the key. I'll get that right. Everything's gone out of there. I've already.
When did you move out?
Yesterday, completely
We've
out.
been kind of moving out. There's like a few pieces of furniture in there, Miss Brown. But for the most part, we've been trying to move out already. We're, like she said, we were taking her the money orders and they were telling us that we weren't getting evicted. We only literally, the money we gave them, we're only going to owe them 400 more and we were going to pay it within a few days. And the lady was assuring her that, yes, you can bring back your non-list. And then that lady was gone. She completely left and wasn't even working there anymore. And then we have code compliance issues with them with the rodents and the refrigerators and,
Okay,
and
hold
just disturbances and homelessness over there.
on. Okay. So they're saying that they did pay about $440 in money orders. And that
Yes, Your Honor.
they moved out yesterday. They have the keys here. And so this $823, what is that for?
So, Your Honor, they made partial payments in September. They made a partial.
Mahal
October, they
yan.
made-
Ito kung to.
I don't know who's talking, but I can't understand. Okay, go ahead.
Yes,
Sure.
Your Honor. There have been multiple partial payments. Like I said, there was a partial for November, a partial for October. Nothing was paid for this month. My maintenance guy did walk the apartment yesterday afternoon and he did tell me it was still occupied. So that's why I want to proceed.
Yeah.
I have my apartment key right.
Yeah, we have
So-
there's like a few pieces, like bookshelves and a few other articles and stuff in there, but for the most part,
Right.
Miss Brown, we have it all out. And the reason we wouldn't pay rent is because then after they took our money orders and said that we weren't
sheriff
gonna list,
showed up.
the constable came that night,
That
after
night.
gave them almost $500, we're like, so pay you more if we're getting evicted and,
He literally-
Regardless, sir, you got to pay your rent. You can't live for free.
no, I understand, but we
No,
thought
we
that it
were-
would Texas law that after
Yeah.
the eviction process has been set in motion, that you're not supposed to take a payment from a tenant.
And
It's
still
that
pay
like
it
a
back.
waive the whole process,
That's,
and we did
no,
go
that-
after the.
that's not correct.
They can amend their petition, even the day of court to, I won't allow them to go backwards. Like if they put on their petition, it's for September, October, November, I won't let them go to like August
We
or,
only got October, November on the petition, Ms. Brown. Literally. it's not
October,
September,
November.
Because we've been
Okay.
paying and the turnover in that office has been so unprofessional. They'll take money orders and they'll leave and they're firing and they were renting apartments out of people in the office, the homeless people. It's been
You're free to live
horrible.
wherever you want, sir. I'm not making you live there. If you don't want to.
Okay, let's stop.
Judge, so-
Everybody, this is about the payment of rent. So we need to keep it to the payment of rent. And you're saying that it's October and November and December prorated to today, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you do have an obligation in the lease to pay. So what is their ledger balance? Or do
Their
you have
ledger-
that available?
Their ledger balance, Your Honor, yes. Do you want me to prorate this month, Your Honor, or full month?
For prorating.
Okay. So the ledger balance is 1,912, Your Honor, with the court fee. And that's prorated through today.
Okay, so it's $1,912.
Yes.
Okay, so the other thing that I didn't mention is that the landlords can always only seek rent only here in court. They cannot seek late charges, utilities, admin fees, or any of those things, rent only. So your ledger balance is always going to be more than what they're seeking in court. Okay, so I know that gets confusing to some people, like, how come they're telling me I owe $2,000 and they're only asking for $1,000 in court? Well, it's because they can't ask for late fees. They can't ask for utilities or any, pest control fees or whatever. It has to be the base rent, just so that y'all know that. So that's why your ledger balance is $1,912, but they're only seeking $823. Now, the other thing is that when you move out, when you give the keys to the landlord, that is the official day of move out. Since you still have the keys and they don't, and you still have things in there. I know, well, I can't take the keys here and he's not here, so you're gonna have to take them to the
I
office.
could drop him off right now. I don't want, I mean, it's just
Like I
literally.
said, we don't want to go backwards, and we've been transparent with them.
Okay. Okay, but you'll still owe the rent for October, the remaining rent for October, November, and then prorating just for today, not for the whole month of December, but just till today's the 9th. So, you are going to have a judgment against you for $823. Now, you say you have all these other issues with them. There's another remedy for that. Again, I can't be your attorney, but there's another remedy for that, but it's not today. Today, the only thing we're talking about is rent. The other thing is you cannot withhold rent for issues, like you can't. Just letting everybody know. You can't withhold rent because you don't have hot water or your air conditioner doesn't work or whatever. You cannot withhold rent for that. There's another remedy for that, okay? So the court is going to award the plaintiff $823 cost of court post-judgment interest in possession, setting the appeal bond at $1,700. You do have 5 days to appeal, and you can work this out with them to get this released.
So before you make the decision, may I make a statement, Ms. Brown, before you?
I've already made my decision.
Because the guy before us, he had 3 months rent, way more behind us, and he didn't even file for eviction. He was in there for 3 months he owed, and we were only 2 weeks behind and we were paying them. So how does that work out as being fair to the court? Ms. Brown?
Got 5 days.
Yeah, 5 days to appeal, sir.
Before us was 3 whole months behind. We were in there paying money, and they were telling us that we weren't on addition. We could come back with money in a couple of days. They made payment plans. with us and
You have
everything.
5 days to appeal, sir. So if you can come up with the $823,
Doubt though, so why are we paying this, Brown? It's not fair to us. We've been doing transparent.
because you have a lease, sir. You had a lease that you signed.
And they took money after we were to get the light.
Sir, you have 5 days to appeal. Thank you.
That's why we couldn't make it in Berry County.
Deanna, we're gonna need your assistance, please.
Okay. Just don't worry about it. Let it go. No, just let it go. It's okay. When you sign a lease, if you don't pay your rent and you sign a lease, it is a contract and you have to pay your contract. You can't live there for free. So, I'm sorry about that, guys. But we're just gonna leave it alone. I don't want him to get arrested or any of that. That's fine. But, if you sign a contract and you're living there, you have to pay your contract up or it's like a breach of contract, okay? So even if you get if you get a judgment today, you do have 5 days to appeal and you can make arrangements with your landlord if they'll work with you and then they can release the judgment. So just know that it's not like forever you're going to have a judgment on you. You're going to have to pay it eventually, okay? But you make arrangements with them. All right. So anyway, I apologize for that. Okay.